for joining us today on Playing the Field Local Edition. I'm Maria Serrao. Today we are on the baseball field over at Peninsula High School, where you will meet the 2018 varsity baseball team.
The big thing for the 2018 season has been just to try to find out, what the identity of the team is. We graduated 12 seniors last year and only had a couple coming back, and so what we were preaching in the off season is just competition and trying to find out who's going to win spots, and a lot of that's still being figured out, and I like where we're at. I think we got a good group of kids. It's just a matter of playing together, and I think that's kind of the winning formula for us. And when we've done that, we've been really successful, and when we haven't done that, we've given up some games here and there, and so I think it's just trying to trend towards the latter.
It's got to be exciting, but what's the biggest challenge working with guys that maybe don't have as much experience?
Yeah, I think experience is big, but ultimately, talent plays, and once they get up, and hopefully by now they've had 4 or 5 weeks under their belt, and they understand what varsity baseball is about. But at the same time, league and CIF are different. The level of energy and intensity is different. And so, we've tried to prepare them the best we can in practice by creating a competitive environment every day, and, constantly preaching competition and putting things, having stakes for every drill, and having something on the line. And I think the kids have responded well. So, we'll just have to see how it all plays out.
Do a lot of your guys play other sports? Do you encourage that? What's your feeling?
Absolutely. I encourage our kids to play other sports. I think being, multidimensional is a good thing. I would just say that every situation's different, so it depends what the player wants. If they want a good high school experience and they want to be well-rounded and have a good experience in both, then maybe they can play both. If a athlete wants to be a Division I player, and maybe there comes a time when they have to make a decision, or maybe they don't. Maybe they're a standout starter in both or 3 sports. Every situation's kind of different, but so we don't try to cookie cutter it. We just kind of take it on a player by player basis.
It's always interesting to me, especially on the Hill, because there's so many serious baseball players here.
Yeah, I think the Hill has a rich tradition of baseball here, and it's continuing to evolve. I'm looking last night, Matt Grace pitches a scoreless inning, for the Nationals last night, and I used to work with Matt back in the day. I'm just so happy for all his success. Eli Morgan and Max Green, who went here at Peninsula not long ago, are now in the minor leagues battling. Nick Frosso at LMU, and a lot of others that we've had that have gone on, and so. It's fun. It's fun to see these kids coming up, and they look at the players that are in front of them, kind of the legacy, the history of baseball on the Hill, and hopefully it's something that inspires them to be good players.
Coming from a professional life that you had, what are the biggest questions these guys ask you?
That was so long ago. I don't even know if they know I played.
Do they Google you, Coach?
I don't know. I don't know if they Google me. There's not going to be much there if they do. But I think mostly it's like asking me like, hey, what was the minor leagues like? What was it like to play in big league stadiums? What players did you face and did you play against? They'll ask me questions like that. But I think sometimes these young guys, they're so, when you're young, I think you see just a couple feet in front of your face instead of sometimes seeing the whole road. And I'm not sitting here preaching about the things that I did way back in the day anyway. So I'm more concerned and kind of invested in like what they're doing and trying to get their career in the right place. But every once in a while they'll ask like, hey, did you ever play in this stadium, or did you face this guy? And so it's kind of fun to.
How long have you been playing baseball?
Since I was like 2 or 3 years old, always going out in the front yard with my brothers, just going out there all night.
Did you guys play any other sports together, or was baseball your main thing?
We played basketball and football and pretty much anything we could figure out to do in the front yard.
And what made you, do you think, want to stick with baseball for so long?
Probably because I was like better at it and I had a lot more fun with it. And my dad played, so it was always good to have like a role model to look up to.
And what is it, do you think, about baseball that makes it more fun than the other sports?
Probably because like it's just such a team-based sport, and like having brothers, like it's good to like have to like trust other people.
And then regarding it being such a team-based sport, how do you think your team dynamic so far this season has been here at Penn?
It's been great. Like we've always been there for each other. If we ever need anything, we always have someone. And if we're not having a good game, like someone will be there to pick us up.
How do you think your fellow teammates as well as the coaches help you overcome your own personal challenges, or if there's something you're struggling with while playing, how do they help you with that?
They're great. Like if I ever need anything, I could always like text one of my friends or talk to them. And a lot of them, like they're in my classes. So if I ever need anything, I can just go up to them and they always got my back and I always got theirs.
Who's your favorite team, the Angels or the Dodgers? And do you have a favorite player?
It's got to be the Dodgers, and Justin Turner's the man.
I've been playing baseball since I was 5 years old, and I've been influenced by my grandpa, who had played in the pros. But sadly, like he retired. But ever since then, like he's like been into the game and got me into the game, and ever since then, like I've been like playing my heart out on the field. And
What goals do you and your team at Penn here have for the season?
so our goals this year is obviously to win league, but we're also here to bond together and also to work hard as a team so we can accomplish these goals, like as a team. But most of all, our bondship is important because like we as an individual like have our own goals, but when it comes to the team goals, like we all pitch in and put in our part, and that's all we do to work hard, and we gotta continue working hard so far in the season.
How do you think your coaches really help you guys achieve that?
Our coaches really help us because they put in so much time and dedication to us on the field and also in the classrooms a little bit, and they also give us the extra push and the extra step to move forward and forward.
And who's your favorite, the Angels or the Dodgers?
The Dodgers.
I have been playing baseball for about 10 years now.
And did you play any other sports, or has it always just been baseball?
I've played basketball and baseball when I was younger in elementary school.
What has set apart baseball for you? Why have you been wanting to stick with it for so long?
I think it's been more fun than the other sports because all my friends are playing it, and it's just fun to get out on the field in the sun.
How do you think it really helps you guys as a team, having so many of people that you're close to, so many friends all playing together?
I think since it's a really big team-based sport, it's just easy for us to work together, and it's like almost like a brotherhood.
And what challenges do you think you personally have this season?
I think it's more so mentally and like the tough league games that we have ahead of us. I think it's a real challenge in that.
And a lot of people have mentioned that, mental challenge that they're going to be facing. In what ways do you think your coaches have given you advice or helped you to try to overcome that?
They definitely help out with our challenges. Like if we screw up, they'll help us out with that. And they ultimately provide confidence in us when we're nervous or something like that.
And then lastly, of course, do you prefer the Angels or the Dodgers? And who's your favorite player?
I prefer the Angels, and my favorite player is Shohei Ohtani.
I've been playing baseball since I was 5.
And what made you choose baseball as your sport?
My dad wanted me to play baseball.
What other sports have you played growing up?
I played soccer for a couple of years, and that's it.
What do you think it was about baseball that made you stick with it as opposed to soccer?
I was just better at baseball than soccer. So, only playing 2 sports, I just chose the one that I was better at. We're really close. We're a tight-knit group. So, yeah, it's always good to be around all the players. Yeah.
Do you feel like you have had any challenges this season with the game? Or I know some people have talked about kind of that mental aspect. Have you had any of those challenges, and what were they?
Yeah, definitely. Just dealing with all the bumps of the season, right? The season's kind of up and down. You have your high moments, you have your low moments. So you just have to kind of figure out how to deal with those low moments, not get too high.
And how do you think the other players and your coaches have helped you get past those moments?
Oh yeah, our coaches are very supportive of us. Same with our teammates. Coach makes sure we never get too high or like cocky or anything, and make sure if we're not doing well, he's still very supportive of us.
And lastly, which team do you prefer, the Angels or the Dodgers?
Definitely the Dodgers.
And do you have a favorite player?
Yeah, Clayton Kershaw.
I actually started baseball pretty late. I started around 3rd grade, so 8 or 9 years old. I'm not too sure.
A lot of the people that we've talked to have started when they're 2, 3, 4 years old. Do you think it was hard for you starting later, or do you think it was easy just catching right up?
It definitely was harder because they're obviously at a higher level, but I don't think it was too bad catching up. Yeah.
And what position do you play?
As of now, I'm not too sure because I keep moving around, but 2nd, 3rd, and all the outfield.
Is it hard for you to be moving around, or do you think that kind of helps improve you as an overall player?
Definitely is a bit of a struggle because I don't know where I'm playing next game. So I'm not sure where to practice during the practices, but it works itself out.
Do you prefer the Angels or the Dodgers, and who's your favorite player?
Um, prefer the Dodgers, but my favorite player is Alex Bregman on the Astros.
I've been playing baseball since like 2, 3 years old with my grandpa and dad out in the backyard, and then started t-ball and went on from there.
What do you think has made you continue with it throughout these years?
Just like the team aspect, you're on offense and defense, so the teams are very close. There's not like, because I play football as well, and the defense is not as close with offense. But here, everybody's just a family.
And what position do you play?
Right now, I'm playing pitcher and third.
What are you really trying to work on to help improve your game?
Well, pitching-wise, just leading with the front hip, trying to get momentum down the hill. And then third base, I'd say just coming and getting the ball instead of having it come and eat me up.
What advice is there that your coaches give you or the other players that really help you with that?
I think it's just the repetitive motion of doing it, and they're always willing to come out on weekends, anything just to get reps for muscle memory. I think that's the biggest thing.
Your team this year seems so close. How do you think that helps you guys go out when you play games?
That definitely helps us because we kind of know what each other's tendencies are. We know what they're gonna do. So I mean that really helps, especially like middle infield, outfield. You know if a guy is willing to crash into a wall, if he's not willing to crash into a wall, stuff like that. We're a very tight group.
And Angels or Dodgers or a different team?
I don't like any LA team.
Okay.
Say it again.
I do not like any LA team.
So who's your team?
Yankees, for sure.
And do you have a favorite player?
Bryce Harper.
How long have you been playing baseball?
Since I was 4.
And did you play any other sports or did you just do baseball?
I played football and basketball as well.
And what was it about baseball, do you think, that set it apart and made you want to continue with it?
Just liked the game, it was pretty fun. Just running around. Didn't have to do much, really. I didn't like running that much, and 90 feet is pretty nice.
What are your main challenges that you're facing for this season?
We're facing a lot of good teams, and again with coach, just overcoming that and trying to push those feelings away and focus on the game while we're out there.
And what are your main goals then for this season?
Dubs for Dozer.
And then, of course, lastly, do you prefer the Angels or the Dodgers? And then who's your favorite player?
Ooh, I'd say Dodgers, but I don't really have a favorite player, really.
How long have you been playing baseball?
Around like 10 years since like t-ball.
And what made you decide to play in the first place?
It was kind of just my dad, and I was just kind of like getting into a bunch of sports and stuff, just trying to be like get into exercise and stuff like that.
What were the other sports that you were playing?
Basketball and soccer.
What made you stick with baseball then if you had these other sports? Why was it that baseball was the one that you decided to continue with?
I think I was just like the sport I was best at. I mean, I was pretty good at basketball, I guess. I was better at soccer, and I just like the players on the team and stuff like that.
So speaking of the players, what do you think has really helped you guys bond as a team and really foster the dynamic? Because everyone has talked about so far how close you guys are. So why do you think that is?
I think it's just kind of we all are around each other and all the time, every single day, so we kind of just get to know each other. And I think it's just like a great group of guys.
Is it hard for you guys to balance so much practice time versus school? Is that difficult, or what do you think kind of helps you keep that in check?
Yeah, it's pretty difficult, but we kind of just find time to do homework and stuff. Like if one of us has like a free class, we'll just do homework during that and stuff like that.
How do you think you and the other players feel about your coach having so much experience? Do you really look up to him? How does that help you guys?
Yeah, we always look for him for help and stuff, and he's like really supportive of us and stuff like that. And he's just got a lot of knowledge, and that helps us a lot.
So which team do you prefer, the Angels or the Dodgers?
I'm an Angels fan, yeah.
Okay, and do you have a favorite player?
Yeah, Mike Trout.
I've been playing baseball since I was 4 or 5 years old, t-ball, Little League, all the way. Now I'm a senior now in high school, so about 13, 14 years.
Wow, did you play any other sports along with that, or was it just baseball?
Yeah, I played soccer for a few years when I was younger, year flag football, but baseball just kind of stuck through, and what I chose to go and play in high school.
What aspect of baseball was it, do you think, that really made you want to stick with it?
Just kind of a team sport. that really appealed to me. Just kind of being with a group of guys that you know and trust each other. That's really important to me. And winning as a team is because it feels really nice. The soccer and everything and football is fun, but just baseball just kind of shone through in that aspect.
And in what ways do you think having that really close-knit team has helped you so far this season?
Yeah, I just think the love that we have for each other, and just when I'm up at the plate or on defense, just knowing that they got my back and that they're supporting me, it gives me a nice confidence boost to go out there and perform for them, not only for myself but for the team and everybody else too.
In what ways do you think the coaches help with that dynamic?
Yeah, the coaches are very supportive of us, and they dedicate a lot of time, energy, and effort to us. And they don't really get paid much, but they love what they do. And starting to understand how much time and effort they put in, that they're sacrificing with us instead of their families, and really appreciate that and how much they've helped me and the rest of the team here.
Which team do you prefer, the Angels or the Dodgers?
I'm an Angels fan. Yeah.
And do you have a favorite player?
I think Mike Trout is my favorite player. Yeah.
How long have you been playing baseball?
12 years or so.
And were you playing any other sports, or was it just baseball all the time for you?
No, it was just baseball. My parents and my brother got me into it.
What do you think it is about baseball that made you want to stick with it for all these years?
I'd say the passion and the love that I developed for the game over time. Playing with my brother, playing with friends. That's a big part of it. The team aspect of it. So playing in an environment with other friends and other people that have the same passion.
A lot of people so far have really mentioned that team dynamic, that team aspect that they're really drawn to. In what ways do you think the team here at Peninsula really helps build that and make you guys feel very connected and supportive of each other?
Yeah, well, these guys have, this team's really banded together this year, unfortunately because of our coach, passing away. But we've really come together and started to play as a team. Over time, it's developed more and more through our coaches helping us and supporting us, as well as just us playing more games together.
And then lastly, who do you prefer, the Angels or the Dodgers?
Definitely the Dodgers.
And do you have a favorite player?
Corey Seager.
How long have you been playing baseball?
Since I was about 4 years old, so 13 years.
And what is it about the sport that's really kept you going with it?
Just how it's a team sport. You have a family.
Everyone's been mentioning the team aspect. Do you think that your team here at Penn has had a special closeness, and what do you think has really helped you guys with that?
Well, obviously, the death of our coach, Mendoza, that we kind of got more together with it because we just tried keeping each other, see if they were okay, try to keep each other in check, check on everyone. And that kind of brought us together more. And yeah, and you have to be a family for pretty much to win. So yeah.
What are your guys' main goals for this season that you're trying to achieve?
Our main goals, just working on the little things we need to work on, getting better, defense-wise. We need a little better offense, and we just want pretty much just win league. We just want to win league pretty much.
And then lastly, who's your favorite, the Angels or the Dodgers? And then who's your favorite player?
I say the Dodgers and Justin Turner.
How long have you been playing baseball?
I've been playing baseball since I was 5 years old.
Wow, so what do you think made you want to start playing?
The toughness of the sport, not just, you can't just be physical in this game, you have to be mental.
And what position do you play now?
I'm a PO, pitcher only.
What's your favorite part about playing on the team here at Peninsula?
Just the teamwork. We're a family. It's not just man for man, it's a whole family.
What do you think sets the Penn team apart, being that really family dynamic? What makes it so strong?
We know each other's weaknesses and we know each other's strengths. So I feel like we're not just a team. We know each other like a family.
And how do you think your coaches really help foster that mentality?
Coach has been great. It's not he's like a dad to us. It's not just he's a coach. He goes to dinner with us, not just, and talks about other stuff, not just coaching.
Dodgers or Angels?
Definitely Dodgers.
And how long have you been playing baseball?
Since I was probably 4 years old. So
13 years.
What made you really want to start playing in the first place?
I don't know if I wanted to start playing in the first place, but my parents probably just signed me up, and I kept playing, and it was fun throughout my whole life.
What do you think it was about baseball that made you just want to stick with it?
I've always liked pitching, and that's why I've become just a primary pitcher, and so I stuck with it.
And what specific goals do you and your team have for this upcoming season?
Our goal as a team is to win Bay League, which would be pretty cool. So every game we have to focus really hard and just beat our opponents, outplay them.
And what are some of the biggest things that you feel like your coaches have really helped you guys with?
They've really helped us to mentally prepare for the game, not just physically, but mentally, because that's a big part of the game. So we always work on like mental things to prepare our minds for the game.
And do you feel like it's hard balancing baseball with school and the other things you have going?
Not really, because I'm a senior, so it's pretty easy. So not really.
So you can dedicate your time to baseball. And lastly, who do you prefer, the Angels or the Dodgers?
The Angels.
How long have you been playing baseball?
I've been playing since I was 4 years old, I believe.
And were you playing any other sports, or was it just baseball?
I played basketball until my sophomore year, and then I quit soccer in middle school.
And why do you think it was baseball that you stuck with?
I think I stuck with baseball because it was like a lot of my friends were playing it, and then we had like a whole bunch of fun. Plus, we were like practicing really hard to get good at it. So I think it was more of a choice of priorities.
Are a lot of your friends still here playing all together at Penn, or have you kind of had to make those new relationships and bonds?
I think a lot of them are still here, but I also did make the new relationships and bonds.
How do you think it has helped having people that you've played with for all these years?
I think it helped because it's like you're not coming in like trying to make new relationships, trying to find out who you can play with. Like we already know coming in.
And what do you think for you personally are your main challenges that you're going to need to overcome?
I think I just need to stay focused and get out in my head a little bit.
Okay, and then lastly, do you prefer the Angels or the Dodgers? And then who's your favorite player?
It would be the Angels, and Altano's going ham right now on the field.
How long have you been playing baseball?
I've been playing baseball since I was 5 years old.
And were you playing any other sports, or was it just baseball for you?
I've kind of played everything, just test the waters, see what happens, and I just kind of stuck with baseball because it was the most fun for me.
What do you think it was about baseball that was the most fun? What set it apart?
Just the competitive attitude and like how long the games are, to have that competitive feel for like 2 or 3 hours is just fun for me.
And what position do you play?
I play outfield.
Do you think there's anything in particular? What do you have to do to really help your game this season and help you overcome some of your challenges?
It's just really repetitive, like taking fly balls, coming out on the weekends, and yeah, just taking fly balls, testing the winds, and reading the ball.
Is it hard to balance those long practices with everything else you have going? How do you get past that?
Oh yeah, it gets difficult at times, but I think all in all, you just kind of find ways to work it out.
And then, of course, who do you prefer, the Angels or the Dodgers? And do you have a favorite player?
Definitely the Angels, and I'm a Cole Calhoun fan, so it's pretty cool seeing him work in the outfield.
How long have you been playing baseball?
Since I was like 4 or 5, it's always been something I've had a love for and have fun playing. So.
And what made you really stick with that? Because it's been a while that you've been playing.
Yeah, I mean, it's just the camaraderie with all the teammates and everything. It's just, and being able to come out every day and play with my friends is such a fun aspect of the game, and being able to share that with everyone is really fun. So.
And what position do you play here at Penn?
I just play outfield, so right, left, and center, just all three. So.
And what do you think really separates your team dynamic that you guys here have at Peninsula? You guys seem really close, so what do you think really fosters that?
I don't know. I would say it's been tough with the loss of one of our beloved coaches, and that's really brought us together, and just everybody has each other's backs just because of that, and because of everything that goes on. I think it's a huge aspect of our team.
Do you guys feel like you have really grown closer as a team and stronger this season?
Yeah, for sure, 100%.
How do you think the other players and the coaches help you get past that?
Just being supportive and just always having each other's back and 100% and being there for each other 100% of the time. So.
And Angels or Dodgers?
Angels all the way.
Do you have a favorite player?
Yeah, Mike Trout for sure.
And how long have you been playing baseball?
I've been playing baseball since I was 6 years old.
Why do you think you've stuck with it for all these years? What is it about the sport that just makes you want to keep with it?
Well, it's a fun sport. Like, I just love it every day. I come out and work hard, and it's just fun.
What position do you play?
I play right field and second.
And do you think you have any specific challenges with that or anything you need to do to really improve your game for this season?
I just really need to get on top of everything, just work harder, and yeah.
And how do you think your coaches are going to help you do that?
They definitely will push me to it. They'll definitely push me to my goals, and yeah, I know I'll get there by the end of the year. So yeah.
And how do you think then your coaches are going to help you guys as a team, and what ways do you need to improve that they're really going to help you get there?
They're probably going to make us work harder, longer practices, but it'll all be worth it in the end.
And then who do you prefer, the Angels or the Dodgers? And do you have a favorite player?
It'd probably be the Dodgers and Clayton Kershaw.
I'd say I'd be playing baseball ever since I probably 3 or 4. I mean, my dad's always had me out there, so yeah, that's about it.
Do you think it was your dad being out there helping you, or what do you think made you want to continue with it for so long?
I mean, realistically, my dad never played baseball before. He just tried to get me out there, and I just fell in love with the sport.
What was it about baseball that really made you fall in love with it?
I'd say it's both the offense and the defense of it. With most sports, you're either on one or the other, so it's just that for me.
And regarding your team here at Penn, what do you think your main goals are for this season?
I'd say the main goals are just to stay over 500. I mean, we really want to win the Bay League. Besides that, making it to CIF would be our main goal.
And is there anything that you think is a personal challenge for you to reach those goals?
I'd say just hard work and dedication is going to be the biggest thing for us out here. Besides that, as long as we just keep it up, we'll be fine.
And how do you think your coaches have really helped you this season?
I'd say just believing in us is the biggest thing they've helped us with. I mean, they're always here for us and everything, and whenever we need to come out on the weekend, they're here.
And do you have a favorite between the Angels and the Dodgers?
100% the Dodgers. I mean, they're going to go all the way this year.
How long have you been playing baseball?
Since I was 5.
What do you think has made you want to stick with it for all these years?
It's fun, and you get to, like, challenge people.
What position do you play?
Pitcher.
What are you really working on with that to help improve your game?
My delivery, trying to, like, improve my accuracy. And
How are your coaches helping you with that?
they're helping a lot. They're investing their time, their knowledge, and just saying everything they know.
What are your goals this season as a team?
To win.
And then what do you think are going to be the main challenges to help you guys get where you want to be?
Playing together and just cooperating like a family.
Who do you prefer, the Angels or the Dodgers?
Angels.
And do you have a favorite player?
Serrao.
How long have you been playing baseball?
I've been playing baseball as long as I can remember. It's always been a part of my life, just playing catch with my dad.
Awesome. And then what made you want to start in the first place?
I was looking at my dad, my brother, having fun with it, so I decided to join the party.
What position do you play?
I'm a first baseman.
And what do you think really sets apart your team here at Peninsula?
We just play so well together as a team. We really focus on our own responsibilities and then focus on how to bring those all together and win games.
And what do you think your coaches do to really help you guys achieve that?
Our coaches are there for us all the time. They always help us out after practice and just get us to the players that we want to be.
And do you guys have any specific goals for the season?
To win Bay League.
Awesome. And then Angels or Dodgers?
I think the Dodgers. I know the Dodgers.
Okay.
And a big thank you to all of the guys and the coaches. I'm Maria Serrao, and we'll see you next time on Playing the Field Local Edition.
Thank you.